Down here, guys, ready? I'm gonna slash and gash, cut another hole in your ass. I spill blood on the walls and play tennis with your balls. If the phone rings, don't answer that call. Gonna slit your throat, fuck you like a goat, peel your foreskin off and make a winter coat. Peace.
The reaction. Oh my God.
Welcome to the next installment of Blassic. It is me, your host Louis B, and
your boy K-Rod. What's up, fellas? How you doing, ladies?
Listen, y'all, this is a Blassic like none other. And we wanted to go a different route this time. You know what I'm saying? It's October, it's spooky season, you know what I'm saying? It's time to get a Halloween special in. So we was trying to find a perfect Halloween movie to do, and I'm not gonna lie to you, Kev. We kind of figured out that it was a little difficult.
Right.
It was a little difficult, but we found some shit. You know what I'm saying? Our brains concocted a plan. So the movies that we're doing this week are none other than Scary Movie 1 and 2.
Right,
we are not talking about 3, 4, and 5, and if they made some more after that, we not talking about
we
those.
Gotta talk about it in some shape, form, or fashion. We gotta mention it.
As Blassics, we is talking about 1s and 2s. And 1 and 2.
And it's crazy because when I brought the idea up, I was like, it has to be something like Halloween, a Blassic. And then I realized there's really something niggas just got into just recently. You know, with the Candyman and the Get Out. And so it's like, we can't really do that right now. We gotta go back.
Now I'm trying to figure out, and I could be shooting for the stars and stretching my arms too fucking far wide, reaching. Yeah. But I don't know. I like the point that you made, because I'm thinking, and just thinking a little deep, could it be because shit, just how we grew up back in the day? Like, I don't feel like we, as black people, you know what I'm saying, our parents didn't teach us to really, not necessarily really fuck with Halloween, yet alone spirits, demons, blood, gore, guts, all of that shit. Like, they kind of kept us from that in a sense, at least in terms of like watching that shit on TV. So could that go into like young creatives not making those types of movies, and now we're seeing, like you said, with Jordan Peele and people doing movies like that, getting more into the horror?
That's a good possibility, because, like, you know, when these were coming out, and then the older movies, I Know What You Did Last Summer, all that, that was the early 90s. So I don't know what the business was like, but I would assume that, you know, our people aren't really into that like that until later on down the line. Until later on down the line, because I know some of your favorite movies are Halloween. So that's why you got 2 or 3 niggas in each movie that dies in like the first 5 minutes of the movie.
They try their hardest.
Right. And it also might be that the studios don't kind of know we don't fuck with it, so they don't put niggas in the front of it, so because they think niggas don't sell and niggas ain't gonna come see it. So that's a possibility.
Jordan Peele showing y'all some shit. And all of these black creators and black directors, producers, they are showing y'all some shit. But we have to take some time to acknowledge the ones that paved the way. And I truly want to use this episode. This is gonna be a non-conventional Blassic episode. We're not gonna do the scene by scene breakdown. We'll do it a little differently, but I want to make sure we take this time to fully acknowledge the Wayans brothers for their contributions to not only film but to comedy. Like, these, we talked about them earlier as just being the quintessential family. Right. Like, I don't know any other family that has done what they've done in Hollywood. They are it. This is it. You
got the Jacksons in music, but as far as entertainment, like movies and television, it's them. I mean, you got like people individually, man, you might have like a dad or a son or brother and sister, but as far as a whole family, then a second generation, and then a third generation.
Fam, they got their like cousins and nephews and shit doing it, because they all look the fucking same.
Pretty much. And they all have their own
jeans
little
strong
stilo.
As hell, man.
Yeah, they all have their own stilo, and then, and they still going, man. Most of them Marlon, they still going. Yeah.
So it's beautiful to see. So let's go ahead and get into the black facts. We'll see if we can see where this whole thing even started from. Like, these niggas ain't new to this.
No, so
they true to this, for real.
We definitely flowing and going on this episode, people. So of course we're gonna start off with Scary Movie. So the original working title for 1996's Scream was actually Scary Movie when it went into production, which is ironic because that's a movie that Scary Movie spoofs. So that's pretty dope. So, you know, pretty much the plot for Scary Movie actually follows different movies like Scream, Scream 2, I Know What You Did Last Summer, The Sixth Sense, Halloween, that's one of your favorite movies.
Yeah.
Blair Witch Project, The Matrix, they have like a little bit for that. The Usual Suspects, and The Shining. So that's pretty much all the movies. It's probably way more than that, but that's what I got for right now. Scary Movie in the United States, it was released July 7th. The film grossed a total of $278 million on a $19 million budget.
Now this is what we talk about when we talking about them numbers. We talking about 19
million
to 278. What the fuck, man?
At this time, this was one of the highest grossing rated R movies, and this also made Keenan Ivory Wayans one of the highest grossing black directors of that time. He's in there. And
see, when I say he new to this, not true to this, fam, the blueprint was laid out decades before. I'm Gonna Get You Sucker in the 80s spoofed blaxploitation films. Then you go to the 90s, Don't Be a Menace. Mm-hmm. All of these are Blassics, by the way, where they spoofed all of the 90s hood movies. They're very true to this. So at this point, I think that the fact that they were able to catapult this number to 278, right, it just goes to show like the power that they have. And not only that, like just bridging the gap between, of course, if you've seen those two other spoof movies, you know that they're predominantly black, but integrating what a lot of the scary movies have, which is white people. I think it was beautiful that he was able to integrate white people into this movie. They meshed with the black people, and y'all was able to create a product like this. Like, and it's still, to me, it feels black, even though it's a lot of white people in this movie.
The white people, you wouldn't have the horror aspect of it. I mean, look at the shit they going through.
Right.
But yeah, and I think also at that time, 1990 to the 2000, that was a time where the spoof movie wasn't necessarily new because they had done it in the early 80s and stuff.
Spaceballs.
But they had brought it back.
Some other shit.
They brought it back and it was new again. And it was like, okay, this is new again. Then years down the line, the shit got old. But it was new again when they did it. The movie has some all-stars. Of course, like we said, this is directed by Keenan Ivory Wayans, starring Marlon Wayans, Sean Wayans, Anna Faris, Regina King. We got Carmen Electra.
Oh, hold on, don't do that. I gotta go back. Regina Hall. I used to get that
Regina
mixed
King.
up always.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God, I get that shit mixed up so many times.
Yeah, I don't know how I did that. We got so many heavy hitters in that movie, and I think the actual the movie itself came about because they were watching movies like everybody else. They was like, this is such bullshit. Oh, we like them. We like the movies, but this is ignorant. A black person wouldn't do this, and I think that's how they came up with the idea. Several drafts were written, and then we got what we got.
Yeah, so of course the story, y'all know the story, man. I'm gonna give y'all just the most general plots, because everybody's seen Scary Movie, and if you've seen Scream or I Don't Know What You Did I Know What You Did Last Summer, you know exactly what the fuck is going on. It follows the same plot. Fam, somebody gets killed, and then the person that gets killed, she goes to a high school that all of the main characters go to. Mm-hmm. They realize that murder happened a year after they killed somebody, and now they feel like this person is just on the loose, or they don't know who's on the loose to try to kill each and every one of them. Now folks start dying one by one, even though that they're still alive. Some of them are still alive later on in the movie. It's just really weird how it goes, but if you literally know the timeline and the plot for Scream, it follows the same exact shit all the way down to the fucking suspects at the end. But I love the way they do it, because they just say whatever reality is or whatever the movie is, it's a complete joke. Fuck it. Like, it's funny. Like,
and they still some kind of way piece it together to where, had you not seen those movies, it still kind of feel like a plot.
Yeah,
like
a lot of times with the Scary Movie franchise, I'll look at a lot of them I didn't know. Like Scary Movie 2, we'll get to it. I really didn't know a lot of the references, but it make you want to go back and look at those exact movies and say, okay, y'all pick from this, y'all pick from this, y'all pick from this. Cool. It's interesting to see.
There's a reason why Scary Movie 2 is much different from one that we'll get to.
Some of your favorite scenes from Scary Movie 1.
Scary Movie 1, man, like I say, it's just a great movie. First, I want to start off by saying, when you look at Scary Movie 1, like the visuals, how it's directed, the cinematography looks just like those original movies. Right. Just like the colors and shit like that.
They went straight for it.
Right. I absolutely love it. When the movie first, you realize, I say this all the time, there's so many jokes in the movie. I've seen this movie a million times, but as I get older, it's like, oh, that's what that is. First joke is like, he stabs the lady, the breast implant come out. When you're a kid, you don't really know what the fuck that is. You're like, what is that? Now you get it.
I thought it was a plastic ball. I said, what is that shit?
Off top, you get it. Now I'm like, okay, that's funny.
Right at the height of plastic surgery.
Right. And it's like, oh, I get it. You know who Carmen Electra is. Now it's funny that dude is driving, getting head. It's just like, it's so much stuff that you realize. It's so much.
Fam, I gotta go to Ray. Ray provided some of the most quintessential, funniest, chops for the fact that he was just like a gay character, which we love the gays, but his character was just so, his timing was so funny. It was down low, but it was like out there too. Like, let me grab his drawers, let me touch his ass, get the fingers out, man.
And it was over the top. Very
Come
over
on,
the top.
Brandon. I said, yo,
but you know
Brandon.
what I noticed though? And this is off the top about Shawn Wayans. They, for some reason, with these two movies, they like automatically assume, oh, he's gay because of these two movies.
Oh, like in real life.
Right, they neglect 6 seasons of the Wayans brothers just to say, oh, he's gay because he did these two movies.
Oh, wow, that's funny.
Yeah, and I'm talking about real life now. But no, that's an interesting movie. Then you have the part where he's in the bathroom and it's like, oh shit, that's a glory hole. Like, I didn't know what that, like.
And he was supposed to die at that part and he came back at the end.
Right. And then that's where it kind of gets
a dick went through his ear.
Right. And it's great. It's just so many scenes.
I'm thinking about a scene that would not, it's so much shit now when I look at the TV version and I laugh because I know exactly what these niggas took out. Miss Man would not be able, and she's not portrayed. She's not, that full scene is not shown on TV now.
Do you watch
There's
it on TV?
A dick. There's a scrotum here. Yeah. There's a scrotum sack right here. And they don't show that shit on TV because niggas would be in an uproar.
No. You can't do a movie like this now. You can't do a movie like this.
Why not? Why be so sensitive?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Let's have fun.
Yeah, there's no such thing as fun. But it's just so many things that I realized on this viewing. So there was like a scene where he was like, the little white boy tried to come into the house, climb through the window. He was trying to get some ass, but she sent him out. And then she was like, "Will you settle for PG-13?" He's like, "Yeah." And then she opened up, and it's a man chest. I didn't understand till now. You only see niggas' chests in PG-13 movies. You never see women titties.
Never. Yeah.
Stuff like that you get on the second go around.
Keenan, the whole writing team, man, the Wayans are so smart.
Like it is, and it's like, sometimes you might get like a fart joke and a shit joke, and then sometimes you get like some real subtle shit, and then you might get it. It's all mixed in there perfectly, and.
Real quick, for all of my creatives, like for all of my young kids that be watching TV a lot, and for all y'all hating ass parents that be saying y'all can't be shit because you watch all the TV in the idiot box, I guarantee you the Wayans brothers did nothing but watch fucking TV day in and day out.
Right.
How y'all think they got all that knowledge to spoof all of this shit? Look at what you can turn that shit into. Right. Teach your kids right.
Right, man, and I think, and if you know, one thing you might, one of my favorite lines from Scary Movie 1 is Anna Faris and Marlon is in line at the lunch table, and she's like, "Okay, we're gonna contrive a plot to get everybody to my house, and hopefully the murderer shows up."
And he did.
He walks off and says, "Hey, everybody, party at Cindy's house. Drunk white women for everybody."
He said, "Yeah."
That's my favorite line of that movie. I had to say it just like him. That's one of my favorite throwaway lines. I think Marlon he was the undisputed MVP because if you notice, he's not in the movie but sparingly.
Right.
Like Barry until part 2 he's in the movie. I don't know what reason it was, but just great. Him, Regina King.
You did it again.
God damn it, I did it again. Regina Hall, I absolutely love you. I met her. She's one of the nicest people you can ever meet.
She's like, you ain't meet me, nigga.
She's great. And as great as she is, I mean, she's one of the funniest black women ever on screen.
Most definitely.
This had to be her second movie, probably after The Best Man. And she just came in and just totally did it, and then she was over the top and just funny.
And I wonder if she stayed on 3 and 4 for that check and that check alone.
Yeah.
I would love to talk to her about that.
Of course you. Yeah. Why would you?
But see, that's a talking point. I would love to see how that conversation went. If she may have went to the Wayans and was like, I don't really want to, but at the same time, and maybe they said, man, go ahead, do that shit, man. Do what you got to do. You just never know. And I think it's a good talking point. I
don't think there was ill will between the Wayans brothers and her. I think at the end of the day, they know.
I just want to hear the conversation.
Me too. I think at the end of the day, they know, this is a check for this shorty, and just go let her get her check. It might have been but it also might have been a contract thing.
Yeah.
She might have been in contract for. She wasn't in 5 though.
Yeah.
I think she stopped at 4.
Well, none of them niggas in 5. Huh?
No. I think she stopped at 4.
So with the success of Scary Movie 1, 278, y'all knocked this shit out the park. The Wayans brothers don't normally, their output is not like stupid fast. Mm-hmm. But I feel like the studio said, yo, we need another one quick. We need it now. So, shit. When did Scary Movie 2 come out? 01, 02?
So yeah, Scary Movie 2 came out probably, let's see, I would say 2 years after. So I actually have something to combat that.
Short turnaround time.
Right. So because Miramax, originally there was never supposed to be a sequel to Scary Movie 1, and it's even on the poster, no sequel, right? I think it's on the DVD you see. Mm-hmm. Because Miramax had not greenlit the sequel until the massive box office success, of course, of the first, the film faced a punishing production schedule that involved coming up with a script and tearing through production and post-production in a total of less than 9 months, right? Roughly half the average time of those steps to be completed on a standard Hollywood production in 2000 to 2001. So literally they started production right after the first one came out. Right after. and I think, again,
for some shit they weren't planning on doing.
Right. They don't get it twisted. They were like, listen, can we get some more time? And I think they came out with still a good movie. Again, still a good movie.
A lot of people regard Scary Movie 2 as the best in the franchise.
I've actually had a conversation with somebody that said it wasn't, and I agree. Mm-hmm. But like even as rushed as they were, they still came out with another classic.
Yeah.
I think Scary Movie 2 was the movie that I recall my folks had getting from Blockbuster, and they was watching it like fam was watching it, and I would sneak downstairs to try to come watch it and see shit, and I wasn't able to watch it.
Listen, my mom wasn't fucking with none of these scary movies just because it was so off the wall, and she just was like, this is stupid. She bought a lot of DVDs in her day. Scary Movie 1 and 2, all of them. She just never bought scary movies, and I'm like, fam, what? You're just missing out on so much. But yeah, Scary Movie 2, they getting right back into the shits. Tell me some of the movies that they spoofed in this one.
All right, so this one they kind of switched it up. Now they're going the supernatural route, the haunted house shit that was coming out around that time.
A lot of the scary movies that I did not see.
Yeah. Okay, so The Haunting, you got The Exorcist, the Rocky Horror Picture Show, the Amityville Horror. I've seen some of those. Poltergeist, The Legend of Hill House, House on Haunted Hill, the original, the remake. You got Changeling, you got Hannibal Lecter, and Hollow Man. I know you seen Hollow Man.
Yeah.
The Invisible Man shit. All right, so here it go. So they got a boost in the budget for this one. So they actually got 45. They got 45 million. But here it go. They made 141 million still. So they got a boost in budget and still made more money than the last one. So like we say, man, according to the director, they actually watched over 130 horror movies just for background research. So yeah, see
how much TV they watching?
Right. And
just watch TV, watch YouTube.
Right.
Keep doing it.
And they mentioned I've heard Marlon and them say like they did feel rushed on this one.
Of course.
Even as rushed as they was, I still felt like they still put out. Could it have been as best as they could have been? I don't know. We don't know. But I mean,
listen, to me, to me, 1 and 2 are so good that I can't put one over the other. However, I feel like the second product, knowing that information that you just gave me, that blows my mind because it still feels like they gave, like you said, the best product that they could, and it's still regarded as one of the best scary movies. It's the OG. It's in the OG lineup.
Right. And you know, that's a great movie. The movie itself is similar to the first one. Again, you know, you got some of the people coming back from the main cast. You know, the main 3, the main 4. And now they kind of got like a haunted house vibe.
Nah, I ain't even gonna lie with the plot on this one, since I ain't really seen none of them movies. The plot is one thing that I follow, you know what I'm saying? It's a haunted house from back in the day. Crazy daughter, you know what I'm saying? Killed the daughter. Right. The house is haunted. They want to get these college kids in this house for research purposes, but they really just want them niggas in there for some spooky shit. That they realize the house is haunted. Oh my God! Now we gotta kill the ghost who was the owner of the house. Like we pretty much get that shit. You know what I'm saying? But what was some of your favorite scenes from that version of Scary Movie?
Man, so it's so much different. And this is where it differs from the first and the second one. The second one, I don't know if it's because it was Russia, they just wanted to do it. It grabs so many different things. Like there's a section where they're doing the basketball commercial. Remember they had the Nike which is fucking hilarious. Yeah. They didn't really do that type of stuff in the first one. They're doing the basketball, everyone's doing this, they're doing that. It seems
like they just started just pull from random things.
Still dope because the basketball coming from the ghost and then they're doing niggas doing the nigga shit. Extremely dope.
I think they had more creativity with less time.
Right. And then, man, it's just, most of it's Marlon for me.
Marlon again.
He gets rolled up in the weed. He gets rolled up in the weed. He's smoking. He's watching the commercial, the Christmas commercial with the rap songs. It's so fucking dope. Shorty is my favorite character there. It's probably my favorite character of the whole franchise, to be honest, next to Regina.
Huh. There you go.
So yeah, the cat fight with the white lady and the cat, that was hilarious.
My God.
The bird between Marlon and the bird, that's hilarious.
The bird's chops were just
fucking great. That was great. Him going back and forth like, probably want a cracker, probably want your mama's sweet ass. The fuck, you don't know my mama, son. Like,
I love every situation where a voice was yelling at Cindy. Like, Cindy was just being stupid. Whether she was in the car and singing over the song, she was like, shut the fuck up, bitch, let me sing. I heard that when I was a kid and I died.
That was funny then.
That was so hilarious when I was a kid.
Bitch, go to the music room. Like, that's the basic
joke. Go to the music room.
That's
I said, fam.
Yeah, she was just like beyond stupid. Oh, another favorite. Regina Hall. When she's just minding her business, they split up, and then here comes Shorty comes around.
Bitch wanna come over here?
Right. She's like, just let that thing mutilate her white ass and go on. And then she turns and she sees it's just a skeleton. She whoops the skeleton ass. I mean, I think that's what we came back from the beginning, where we were just talking about like black people don't really do scary movies, right? Because we wouldn't be in those situations, and that's where that comes from. Yeah. And I thought that was a good joke. I thought the let's split up Scooby Doo shit was a good joke. She calls them out on that. Hey, let's split up. But the fuck, why you white people are always saying let's split up when we should stay together? Right. And then he still says, okay, you three come with me, and it's the three white people. Like it's fucking great, bro. Like I think it's a fucking great movie, man.
Listen, Scary Movie 2 had so many amazing moments. Like, they even stole some shit from Save the Last Dance at the beginning. Like we spoke to earlier, just them unlocking different levels of creativity because they had a shorter time where we're not just limiting ourselves to spoofing scary movies. We just gonna spoof regular shit that y'all see and have a scary movie main plot line. It's an interesting way to do it, but it's really interesting to just talk about this shit in real time and see it differently than how I normally see it. So listen, man, between Scary Movie 1 and 2, those are just classics, man.
There's so many quotables in that movie. You know, now they turn them into memes. You got the dude with the little small hand. I forget the actor's name. Oh my God. You got that.
Mike Jones.
Right. You got the nigga sucking his own dick. It's so many quotables. And then you got some horror icons in there. The guy who plays It, he's in the movie. What's his name? I forget his. I should know the guy. It's a white guy's name. He's on the Wild Thornberrys. I forget his name. He's the guy who sends him. He's the guy who sends him there. Very famous actor, comedian. But I mean, it's just a dope movie. If you haven't seen it, make sure you see both of those movies. So yeah, man, that classic again, and box office success again.
Definitely.
Like it should have been. But of course, I have to mention, I know you said we weren't going, but I gotta mention it. Because of the success, the studio said, hey, let's do a third one. They said, all right, man, look, cause you rushed us this time, you gotta pay us more money. Studio didn't want to pay us that money. So, as usual, they snatched the shit. They literally called them and said on Christmas Eve, y'all don't have to do this. We'll just go ahead and do this without you guys.
So the Wayans brothers never owned the Scary Movie franchise to begin with. They never owned the name. They never owned the title. They was just directing their plan, the studio's plan, essentially.
Well, no. The movie was written by them, and I can't speak to the ownership of it. But you got to understand, like, same thing with Friday and Ice Cube. When the distributors distribute the movie, Universal, New Line, Miramax, they also own the rights to the movie to distribute. A lot of times, we can write the stuff, but if we don't have the distribution to send it out, they pretty much own it. Like Ice Cube, whether he write it, did it, whatever, somebody else owns it to distribute it.
Just like music.
Same thing with same thing with the Boondocks to a certain extent. So they was like, okay, that's cool. Y'all don't want to do it because we're not gonna give you the money. We'll do it ourselves. And again, I can understand why people don't like the movie because it's not the Wayans brothers. I think there's very redeeming qualities in the third one. I think Eddie Griffin and Queen Latifah's. You telling me Queen Latifah, Eddie Murphy was not funny in those scenes? Kevin Hart and Anthony Anderson.
It wasn't enough because it just felt too. It felt like a Wassic and not a Blassic.
Again, I can understand why people don't like
classic. It. Didn't even feel like a classic.
I'm not.
It just felt like Scary Movie 3.
I can understand why people didn't like it. I'm not saying it's a Blassic. I'm not saying like I understand it 100%. But I mean, that just goes to what you have to deal with as a black creative or a creative in general when you got to deal with that type of thing. And
so what happens to the Wayans from here? Now they just shit out of luck. We just on our ass. Even though we came up, we wasn't planning to do a second movie. So are they kind of just at this point? Because from there, White Chicks came out in 2004. So. Yeah, the creative juices were still pumping. The Little Man came out 2006.
Well, you're right. You would think they'd be shit out of luck, but after they left, there was like a big like.
They wanted them.
Niggas wanted them.
Yeah.
It just so happened that the people who put out White Chicks and Little Man, they say, "We'll give you this money, make us 2 movies." And it comes White Chicks, again, another cult classic, and Little Man, another cult classic. Whether you like, what you think about the movies, and I love both of them.
Yeah.
So they're still in demand. They still have TV shows. They're still writing, producing. They did other movies. Marlon branched off and did Haunted House 1 and 2, 50 Shades.
Keeping the formula.
Right. Marlon does like his own Netflix shit. I think they're kind of getting away from the spoof movies. They don't do those like that anymore.
A spoof movie that a lot of people slept on too, and I'll mention it before we leave. Because I think it was like the last good one that they did, and they got away from it. Dance Flick.
Oh yeah,
a lot of people sleep on Dance Flick, but I love the way that they still integrated themselves as like the OG Wayans, like the Kim, Sean, Marlon. They integrated themselves. Keenan, they integrated themselves in David Allen Greer. The whole squad integrated themselves in a real cool way while still transitioning that throne. Even though I don't know if they're carrying it, that throne to the younger generation.
Well, yeah, one of the younger generation Wayans, I think it's Damon Dante Wayans. He wrote and directed it, so they just have cameos and great cameos.
Right.
Sean does the what's the name of the movie that we mentioned before, where he's coming to pick up the son. I come to pick up my son, and he picks up the son, puts it back down. That's a great movie. I'm glad you mentioned that, and I think that was the last great one.
Yeah,
A Haunted House has
some qualities,
some good stuff in it. 50 Shades of Black, wasn't the biggest fan. I saw it. Wasn't the biggest fan.
Movies like that just kind of go to show you. I love what Marlon does, but it makes me wanna. It makes you miss the qualities that when all of them are together. It's a chemistry that is those movies undeniable.
That it's spoofed anyway to begin with. So
I feel that.
That was it. So, but and then I think the studios understood that and realized that because they actually doubled back and asked them for 5.
They did
I think
3.
They say, fuck it.
They did 4. They said, this ain't what it could have been. Let's double back for the Wayans.
Right.
We good.
And the irony of all this is they recently spoke out, and we did cover it on Comedy Hype. Marlon was talking on a podcast to Kevin Hart and said, he explained, they called over Christmas, and to be honest, we should sue, but fuck it, we're not.
We're the Wayans. We'll create something else.
Fuck it, we'll create some other shit.
White Chicks coming soon.
Right. So and then like actually, the funny thing is that the person behind that studio was Harvey Weinstein. So you, I mean, you see what happened with him. So.
Listen, it's always good to know when to get out. I feel like Keenan Ivory Wayans is just the backbone of that family. That whenever you need somebody, whenever you need some information, whenever you need some guidance, whenever you need to know your next step, he's already walked that shit. So just talk to Keenan.
Right.
Guarantee you, he looked at them niggas and said, "Man, the fuck,
fuck it, yeah,
the fucking Wayans brothers. We can do this ourselves," and that's exactly what they did.
Yeah.
So listen, man, I really want to take this time to shout out the Wayans brothers. Shout out to all the contributions that they have made to film and comedy. Listen, man, it's the only way we could have did Blassic this time is with two scary movies, the ones that meant the most to the franchise, the OGs, as we love to say.
Right.
I'm good, Kev. You got anything else? Cause we ain't got no specific music for this. We know it's a scary movie, fam. It's a spoof. It's nothing serious. We here.
And yeah, man. Just for y'all, man, if y'all haven't seen it, go check it out. Y'all need to put some respect on them brothers' names, those movies' names. That's all I got for that.
And listen, on that note, Blassic, another installment. It is me, your host, Louis V, and your boy K-Rod, and I'm ready to go.
Y'all want drama? Wanna make a scary movie? Rappers coming in with their team and carry toolies. You can jump right